Hey, this is Mike. Thank you so much for choosing this video. Today I'm in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, visiting East Coast Honda. And I'm checking out a 2018 Honda Ridgeline in the RTL-E trim level. So this pickup truck has some of the features that you would find in an SUV and the comfort of an SUV, but it's a very capable pickup truck with some features that you won't see in any other pickup truck. So let's go ahead and check it out. This Ridgeline is sitting on 245/60 Firestone tires wrapped around 18-inch alloy wheels in a two-tone. It also has four-wheel disc brakes with ventilated disc rotors in the front and solid disc rotors in the back. The name of this color is White Diamond Pearl. Looking fantastic. So let's take a look here on the front. So it has this chrome accent all the way across front, right in here, accenting the width of the vehicle. And then right in this area, you have a combination of gloss and flat black grille. And then the lower portion has a little bit of a gray portion here at the very bottom. And then the main bumper portion is a flat black. Has the parking sensors kind of hidden in that area as well. There's also a sensor behind the emblem here for your adaptive cruise control. The headlights are powered by LEDs in a projector housing for your low beams. And then the high beams are a combination of those and a reflector halogen light. It also has a daytime running light accenting around the outside of the bezels there. And the bezels themselves are a black in color. Fog lights are powered by halogen bulbs in a reflector housing. This is what the key looks like. It's actually a proximity key designed to where you can keep it in your pocket and use the vehicle 100%. It's just this key fob, the square fob. There is a physical key on the inside, but generally you could just keep this in your pocket and use the vehicle. Now it does have some useful buttons, lock, unlock, the ability to remote start the vehicle, and a panic button. So looking at the profile of the truck, you can see it has this little black plastic. Now this is common on a lot of vehicles, especially on SUVs and trucks, to protect the paint at the lower part of the truck, to keep, rock chips, and also just generally keeping it a little bit easier to clean. And also you notice right here, this portion, these pillars are blacked out with a gloss black, kind of accenting the length of the glass here, making it a little bit sleeker looking. And also there's a seal right in here, so the bed and the cab is sealed together as one continuous unit. As long as I have the key with me, it could be in a pocket, in a bag, whatever. As long as it's within a close proximity of this door, I can lock the doors by pushing this button here, and it will lock the doors. To unlock it, I simply put my hand behind the handle. It senses the key within a close proximity of the door and my hand position, and allows me access to the vehicle by unlocking the door. You'll also notice that it has an actual keyhole here for the physical key, just in case you need that. Okay, so looking at the inside of the passenger door, soft to the touch from your arm up basically. Down in here is kind of like a vinyl material with some contrast stitching, nice and soft. Up in here is a soft plastic material, same thing with here, almost like a Nerf. It's only the way I know how to explain it. And this is very soft and comfortable. It does have a simulated leather texturing, but it is a synthetic material. Right in here you have a little black gloss accent. But down here, this is the best part in my book. Well, first of all, you have a pocket here it's completely closed, so you can put some stuff there. But check it out, you have this shelf here. You also have these forward pockets for a bottle or whatever, and then this big portion down here. Lots of space in the door. I really like the way they have the forward position and having it open above it so you can put stuff in there easier. There's your threshold with the plastic sill plate. Power seat here for the passenger. It goes forward and back, and then you tilt the back of the seat. The seats are leather and they're heated as well, and it has this little perforations there in the center portion. Very comfortable too. And then they have little armrests that fold down for both the driver and the passenger. Okay, so here's the legroom, and I'm going to put all the sizes and measurements in the description, but pretty good amount of space. There's very little tapering until you get right into here, but just kind of wide open, and then the floor mat hooks in place so that way it doesn't slide around on you. So the dashboard, you have that soft material here, and then this is the hard plastics. Lockable glove compartment, and it's smooth plastic on the inside as well. All the rear glass is privacy glass, so it keeps the sun from shining in and people from looking in. Okay, so here's the inside of the rear door. Soft to the touch here on the arm. Then you have the hard plastics up in this area and down here. Now the pockets, you still have a pocket here, but this pocket is a little storage pocket for your phone and a cup holder right in here, and it's in this easy to access place. So the back seat is basically a bench seat that can hold 3 passengers. It also has car seat, the latch system for car seats. And it has this cup holder armrest, which you can move out of the way for your center passenger. Now, even with the front seat all the way back, you still have a decent amount of legroom, I think. And there's no hump here in the center, so it's completely flat back here, which is nice. And then you have a USB charger and a little storage pocket here and here. It actually has 2 USB charging ports behind that cover. There's a storage pocket on the back of both driver and passenger seats here. So the back seats are versatile as well as passengers. You can have cargo space back here. So it's real simple. You just lift up on this little handle here and lift the seat up. Now it is assisted, so it's not that hard to lift up. And then it snaps in place up in here, like so. So I can add to the cargo space while maintaining some passenger space, which is nice. You also have some space under the seats, as you can see. But flipping both seats up gives you this wide open space. Now, if you don't have any backseat drivers, basically, you can use this space for picking stuff up at the store that you don't want to put in the back of the truck. Say maybe the weather's not good, or maybe you just don't want to have anybody steal it. You want to lock it up here in this back portion. This is a really good space for cargo. Okay, so looking at the back of the truck here, it has a shark fin antenna at the very top right up in here, and a third brake light right in this area, sliding rear glass. And the tailgate is awesome. I'll show you that in just a second, how it opens. It actually opens in 2 ways. So you have a combination of LED and standard bulbs for your rear lights, and parking sensors across the back, backup cameras in this almost a center position next to the handle. There's your towing package with the outlet there under the bumper. And this bumper is made out of a really tough composite material. Same material that the bed's made out of, which is super, super strong. Okay, so there's 2 ways. The traditional way to lower this tailgate is to pull the handle like so, pull it down. It's a non-assisted tailgate, but it's not very heavy. So there's a traditional way of opening that tailgate. Close it up. The other way, which is something I haven't seen on other vehicles, is there's a handle under here, a little bit to the left of that all-wheel drive emblem. You pull that and it swings out like so. So that way, depending on your needs, this gives you the ability to step a little bit closer and reach further in the bed, access the bed a little bit better. You have cargo lights back here and LEDs and tie downs. There's a composite bed, and it is super strong. You see videos that Honda put out where they're dropping bucket loads of huge boulders and rocks in the back of this bed, and it just holds up fine. It's really, really hard to scratch or impossible to dent. I mean, it's crazy. This little compartment here opens up, and that's where you'll find a regular outlet for the power inverter right in here. 115 volt, max 150 watt. Now if the engine's running, you can, and it's in park, then it says you can go up to 400 watts. And also this little storage compartment. And check this out, there's more. So I'm gonna use the physical key here and open up this, and there's a trunk back here. So you have the access, you have the ability to have a whole truck with the features of an SUV, like a trunk. And it is really good size. You can see the little dividers there. It even has a drain plug. So if you were to put, get water in here somehow, or if you fill it up with ice and use it as a big cooler, which some people might do, just fantastic. And then there's your spare tire and jack right there, which is on a tray that slides out, so it's really easy to access. The fuel door is on the driver's side, and it's a locking door, and it's a capless design to where you can just put your nozzle in there and pump the gas. You don't have to worry about a cap being loose, your check engine light turning on, or anything like that. Now it does require a funnel for using a gas can, but other than that, it's just as simple as just pumping the gas and you're good to go. To start it up, as long as you have the key inside the vehicle, it could be in your pocket, a bag, or just sitting in the cup holder, put your foot on the brake and push this button. Okay, so here's the floorboard in front of the driver's seat. So you can see the floor mat hooks in place. There's the accelerator and brake pedal, foot actuated parking brake right here, and just behind it is a pretty good size footrest. So let's go ahead and take a look under the hood. To open the hood, there's a little latch a little bit to the left of center, just in here. Just reach in, move it to the right, and you can lift up the hood. You see there's the latch there. Now the hood requires a prop to hold up, but it is easy to lift up. There's actually two places where the prop can go. Right here in the lower position, or the higher on the hood, but it makes the hood not so high up. And then you have this place down here, which makes the hood go completely straight up there almost, so you can have complete access to the engine compartment. Okay, so checking it out, well, there's a big plastic cover covering up the engine, of course, but we'll try to point out a few things here. It does have an insulated firewall there in the back. Strut towers are braced into the unibody, or the ACE body structure of the vehicle. See a little bit of engine, a little tiny bit of engine here in the front. There's the motor mount, but anyways, underneath this big plastic cover is a 3.5 liter V6 i-VTEC, intelligent VTEC with Earth Dreams technology, and I'll leave in the description a link to some more information if you want to really get all the technical aspects behind those technologies. But pumps out 280 horsepower, and it's paired to a 6-speed automatic transmission. The inside of the driver's side door is just like the other side, except for it has a few more buttons. You have your power window controls, door lock controls. Now the front two power windows are automatic, one touch up and down, like so. Two presets for your power seat for the driver. We already saw the locking fuel door. The driver's seat's powered just like the passenger seat, but this one has the ability to go up and down and tilt the seat and everything, as well as a power lumbar adjustment there on the right side. Okay, so right in here you have your parking sensors. You can turn those on or off. Your lane departure mitigation, you can turn that on and off. Your traction control and your forward collision warning system can be turned off. Default will be on. Your cargo light in the back, you can turn that on. And your same thing with your AC power supply back there, you can turn that on here. And then you have your side mirrors adjusted. You just pick a side and adjust it with a little pad. And then you have an eco button to give you a little bit better gas mileage when that's turned on. It has a tilt and a telescoping steering column. So once you get it in place, you can just lock it in place with that lever. And the lever is easy to find there on the left side. Okay, so let's take a look from the driver's seat, looking at the inside. Fantastic as far as the comfort. The layout is well done. Everything is reachable, and I like the way the pockets are in this forward position. There's your knee room and leg room. I'm actually 6 feet tall, and just to give you an idea, and the seat's all the way back, which probably would be my normal driving position. Okay, so taking a look at the steering wheel, it's a leather wrap steering wheel. It's also heated. The heated control is right back in here. But it's a soft to the touch steering wheel with a smooth leather surface and very comfortable. And it's surprisingly soft, and I mean, it's just really soft. It's not too soft where it's like gonna break or anything like that, but it just has this nice feel when you grip it. It's not digging into your hands. It has a good thickness and softness. Slight bolsters right in this area as well. Okay, so looking here on the right side is your cruise control. Now, it's not a normal cruise control system. This button right here, it says main. This turns on and off your adaptive cruise control, your cruise control, which is adaptive, and your lane keeping assist system. So when you have that on, not only will it keep you your cruise control active, but also keep you for a set distance between you and the vehicle in front of you if the vehicle in front of you is going lower than your set speed on your cruise control. And you can set the distance, a close or far distance, by pushing this button here, and it'll kind of give you a visual representation of what that looks like. I think those are car lengths, so you have up to 1 to 4 car lengths there. I think it might depend on speed too. It may not be exactly a car length. And then here is your lane keeping assist. So you can have the little lines there, and it'll kind of alert you and give you a little flash there, letting you know that you're going out of your lane. And it'll actually steer the steering wheel, so it's actually assisting you in your lane. It's not going to drive itself, but it does give you some relative amount of safety as far as not swerving out of the lane. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, because I thought the same thing. What's the difference between lane keeping assist and road departure? So the road departure keeps you from going completely off the road. The lane keep is just the lane. So the lanes have to be clearly marked for this lane keeping assist system to work. The road departure is kind of the next level of safety, keeping you from just completely exiting the road. Okay, so these buttons down here correspond to the little screen between the gauges, which we'll get to in just a minute. Here on the left side is your volume for your radio. You change through your tracks or your audio source or presets on your radio here. And then this button right here changes when you push it. It gives you 3 options on the screen here. As I push it, I can cycle through these icons and rest on the one that I want to rest on. So I push it again, I can go to whatever one I want, and I just rest on it, and it'll go into that particular main feature that this radio has. So it's a quick way of getting into a specific thing that you want to get into. And then this, depending on what screen you're in, you can push that, and it will pop up a little menu system there to give you some additional options, which changes the use of these buttons, I guess you can say. So it shows you that now they're a little bit different depending on what screen you're in. Down here is your Bluetooth controls. You can answer calls, hang up, and then you also have a voice recognition system for using your voice to make phone calls. As long as the person that's you're calling is in your phone book, you can just say call, say Tom or whatever, and it'll call him right up. Windshield wiper controls are on the right side. Turn signals are here on the left side, but it also has your headlight controls. You have your headlights, automatic, parking, and then off, and then your fog lights are controlled right there. You also have a dimmer switch control for your interior gauges right here. So let's look at the gauges. Really nice. I really like the big digital speedometer there in the center. RPMs there on the left side, and then your main gauges as far as your fuel gauge and your engine coolant temperature there on the right side. So very simple and easy to understand. But right there in the center is this little screen which you can get additional information. So using these buttons down here, we're going to kind of scroll through just to give you an idea of the additional information. Right now it's on the compass. I scroll down, tire pressure, scrolling down, oil life. You can reset. We can go into your fuel economy information there with a range, average fuel economy, all that. This is a second one, and then it goes back to your digital compass there. And it has a reset button, so if we want to reset the trips or anything like that, we could do that. Okay, looking at the center stack, check out this touchscreen. I like the way they have that blue background. That really, I like the color blue, especially on screens. It just looks nice. And then around the outside is like a gloss black. Definitely recommend like a microfiber cleaning cloth, because all this touchscreen stuff is going to get fingerprints all over it. So wiping it down once a day, it'll look nice and awesome when it's clean. Okay, so let's go to home. This is your audio screen, obviously, but let's go to the home screen, and then you can see the little icons here. So let's go back to the audio so you can see how to get to it. And you have your presets there at the very bottom. We can change the audio source by pushing that button. This is also on the steering wheel as well, as you saw. AM, FM, satellite radio. You have the USB, iPod, Pandora. You also have your cell phone, Bluetooth, and auxiliary input. So lots of ways of playing music through the sound system. And some of these are blacked out, so they're not options yet, because let's say you plug something into the USB, it's going to light up and give you that option. All right, let's go back home. Let's go to the navigation, see what that looks like. All right, so we can pinch zoom here on the navigation screen and see where we're at. We'll get our bearings like so. There's the ocean. We're in south of Myrtle Beach, and there's how you put in your address. You can also mute it, so sometimes you just want to have it in the background. You can stop the navigation, all that stuff. Map layers, you can change those, and you can go into the settings. Alright, let's go back home. Let's go to phone. It's actually not even going to show anything really, because I don't have a phone connected. Once you do have one connected, you'll have access to your phone book, your call history, and all that. Information. So this will give you different, you can change the clock and the wallpaper. In other words, you can have, I'll show you. Let's go back out of this. Let's go to info, and let's go to the clock wallpaper. Okay, so right there is pretty cool. You can have a picture, whatever you want. You plug in a USB drive into the USB port, and you can download a picture onto the system, and then you can have it in the background. So your kids, your dog, whatever you want in the background there, with your clock and your date, all that right there, nice and prominent. I like that feature. So let's go back out of that. Let's go back to the info, your trip computer. So this gives you information regarding, your fuel economy and your, current drive. More information on that. All right, so let's go to Honda Link. Is actually a app that you put on your cell phone, and then that way you can have you can control the vehicle. You can get information about the vehicle through your cell phone. This actually has a truck bed audio. So there's a speaker, it's basically the bed of the truck is one big speaker. I don't know I haven't really seen what's underneath, but you can turn that feature on or off. And when you turn it on, the whole back of the bed of the truck is going to, you know, turn into a big speaker, and everybody outside is going to hear it. So you make sure that you know if it's on or off. So this is more for tailgating, stuff like that. And then your smartphone connection. This is where you can plug in an Apple phone or an Android phone and use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, depending on what you have plugged in. And then of course you can go into your settings and change the different settings that you want to change. And the home screen is customizable. So right now we have just kind of open space here. It's kind of like an Android system. So you have your little icons and stuff. You have a browser, calculator, all that stuff. You could download stuff. But these, let's say you want to change this navigation icon. Let's say you just want to put it, let's do that again. Okay, let's say we just want to put it over here or on another screen. We can do that just like your cell phone. So yeah, the vehicles are catching up with cell phones now. And it has a volume button right here. In addition to your steering wheel, there's a volume button here, and the same deal as far as your menu and your back button, and a power button. Okay, so down here is your climate control. So you have a driver and passenger temperatures, and mode is where you want the air to blow, so you can cycle between your feet or your, you know, defrost, all that stuff. Fan speed, you can sync the driver and passenger by pushing that button, and then you recirculate the air and all that. You can actually turn on and off your rear climate control settings, so you can control it just your rear separate from the front. So it's actually a tri-zone climate control. Then you have your front and rear defrosters. When you put your rear defroster on, it also turns on your heated side mirrors as well. Okay, so your heated seat controls is a two-phase high and low for your driver and passenger. Little storage space there. 12-volt power supply. This is where you have your USB port for plugging in your cell phone for interacting with the system. And then there's actually a place to put it. And there's a little rubber mat here at the very bottom that's removable, so you can clean it and put it back in, but also it'll keep your cell phone from sliding around too much. Okay, so here's your shifter, and let's go ahead and put it in reverse so we can check out the backup camera. So two things are going to happen when you put it in reverse. One is your parking sensors are going to activate back there, but also your backup camera and your active guidelines. So as I turn the steering wheel, the lines will move, and you have different views. So you can see this is a really stretched out version. This is more of a linear version, and this is more of a top down for backing up to a trailer. Down here is your rear cross traffic alert system. So as you're backing up, if you're in a parking space where you can't see around you, as you're backing out of a parking space, if there's a vehicle coming in from either direction, it'll let you know, give you an alert. You can turn that feature on or off. Now this is used by the same system that the blind spot monitor system is, the same sensor basically, but this turns on and off that particular feature. Now the blind spot detector systems, the indicators are here on this A pillar. Right in there, you see that little square right there, that will illuminate if there's a vehicle in your blind spot. It will also, if you put your turn signal in that direction, and when there's a vehicle in your blind spot, it will give you an audible alert as well. Okay, continuing down, there's neutral, drive, and then this has a low range for lower gear ratios for, you know, engine braking, going downhill, that kind of thing. Okay, so this button right here is kind of like a drive mode. So when you push it, it's actually called Intelligent Traction Management. So as I push it, it's going to cycle through normal, snow, mud, sand, or back to normal. So it's going to give you basically kind of different drive modes, letting the vehicle know what kind of conditions it has to deal with in an all-wheel drive situation. All right, so these armrests are adjustable. So what you do is you lift them up and they click, and you can click, and they'll stay in that position. But if you want to reposition it, you go all the way up, and then it'll allow you to go all the way to the bottom position, and then you can click it up to where you want, and then it'll stay right there. All right, so you have this space right here that you can set whatever you want, but underneath it, and it's pretty neat, this is like a kind of a soft material. It's hard to explain. It's not cushy soft, it just has like a soft surface. I don't know, like a plush soft surface, I suppose. All right, and this opens up, and there's a storage compartment here. There's a 12-volt power supply, auxiliary, and USB inputs down here. Little tray that slides out, so you can put some stuff in here and slide it out of the way. This tray is removable as well. So there's an auto dim rear view mirror. Has a sensor here in the very back. So up here you have some tap lights in case you need a quick reading light. You can turn on all the interior lights by pushing that button, have them turn on with the door, or you can just keep them off. And these buttons here correspond. This one right here is for your sunroof, which we'll get to in just a minute. This is for your sliding rear glass, and your HomeLink garage door opener controls are right in here. Place to put your shades, and it has a really soft foam material on the inside. It also has a conversation mirror, so you lift it up and drop it there. You can see and keep an eye on the backseat drivers. All right, so the visors have mirrors and lights. Okay, so let's first look at the sunroof. So the sunroof has a shade that covers 100% of the light, so there's no light coming in. I can open it up and get some light coming in. I can tilt it up, or I can slide it back. All right, so now we're going to look at the visibility in the back, and we're also going to check out the sliding rear glass. See how nice and smooth that is. And so the visibility is great. I mean, the headrests get in the way a little bit, but check it out. You have clear shot all the way around there, and there on the sides. Of course, it depends on your passengers, how big their hairdo is. But overall, that's pretty good, I think. Of course, you can probably remove those headrests just in case if you don't have any passengers back there. They kind of help out with the visibility. Of course, you have the cameras, the parking sensors, the blind spot detection system, rear cross traffic alert, all that kind of stuff as well. So anyways, so there you have it, 2018 Honda Ridgeline. So thank you for watching, and thank you to East Coast Honda here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, for allowing me to check out another vehicle, and I'll see you guys next time.